Part 2 of Dr. Ron's garden tour, August 29th, the summer of 2019. Leaving the flower garden. I got lots of hostas all around. Oh, there's my son Harper. He doesn't know I'm taking a movie. I'm taking a movie of the garden, Harper. These are Chinese noodle beans. The bean I'm looking at here is about 2.5 feet long. What's inside here is actually a black-eyed pea, but if you harvest the beans when they're skinny, you can eat them just like green beans. These are tomatoes that are in pots, and this is where I get most of my bigger tomatoes. My other tomatoes out in the garden didn't do well this year because there was so much cool rain early on. A lot of them just rotted. I always keep mums on the side of the house. Oh, these are dogwoods. When I moved in here, there was nothing here, but I planted yellow twig and red twig dogwoods as a way of sort of making a hedge, so there's a barrier between me and the rental house next door. More Chinese noodle beans. You see the big ones with the with the bulges in them. That's where the actual beans are. I'm growing a lot of them for seed. You always got to keep seed for next year. And then there again is the skinny size that you'd use to actually eat. They're delicious. They taste just like green beans. There's that plant I put up, wire so they can climb up the side of the house. Kind of look like ivy. Lots of these maroon mums. Here's a potted tomato that's not doing so well. I think I got most of the tomatoes off of that for this year. Dragon lilies with no lilies on. I should have actually taken this movie about mid-July when there were more flowers to look at. This is my little menagerie full of fall things that I never take in. And donkey. That's donkey that I got at the state fair one year. I grow pumpkins that I try to get to climb the rail. Again, those didn't do so well because of the cool spring. This is Kevin. It's a steel ornament that I got at the state fair one year, and it looks like the bird from the animated Pixar movie Up, so we named him Kevin. And he bobs up and down like that. He's balanced. He bobs up and down just like one of those little birds that drinks water on your desk, right? Salvias and zinnias. There's a pot full of marigolds. Here's some more basil. We use lots of basil growing out of a bunch of gorgeous marigolds. There's another front pot with salvias and zinnias. This is one of Raznicek's pink geraniums. So that's fun to get back and just look at the front door of the house, where I have flowers on both sides, and I have a hanging basket of petunias. Out front here, I have a pumpkin growing out of a pot, so it'll climb down the rail. You can get a look at the pumpkin if you look really close in here. You see, there's the pumpkin. So for the steps on the house, I have them lined on one side with hostas, and then on the other side I actually planted squash, but they're not doing so well. So now we're looking up at the front of the house where I have hedge plants, but what's right in the middle of the shot right there is a zucchini. I've planted 4 Black Beauty zucchinis, and we'll go up there and look at it in a second. I have these 2 planters out front that used to have trees around them, and we have those planted with pumpkins, lilies of the valley, and of course these lovely black-eyed Susans. We have a group of those on the other side. Again, there used to be a tree here that the city took down. So now I have it full of this nice sedum. These black-eyed Susans have already gone to seed. There's some hostas in there and a chive. I'm walking up the front lawn. And this is a smoke tree that I got shortly after we moved in here. And around the smoke tree, we have it planted with salvias and marigolds and some dusty millers. I actually have these red runner beans or scarlet runner beans that are climbing the smoke tree. I planted some at the base of the smoke tree, and they're climbing. You see that? Right up around the trunk. And they go all the way to the top of the smoke tree and make lots of beans. Here's the zucchinis I was telling you about. I got 4 of these giant zucchini plants planted in the front. Well, that one's not so giant. This one's really, really nice. And I have gotten lots of fruit off of these things all summer long. So now into the back of the house, there's a hedge that isn't doing so good after the rough winter. The last thing to look at outside, this is the north side of the house. Well, look at it. It's a runaway Chinese forget-me-not. The little seeds get absolutely everywhere. So these are the raspberries. And these were here when I moved in, as was this rhubarb. And I've since planted, oh, here's a swan birdhouse. Right? And some violas. I love these purple violas. I call them Viking flowers. And then I planted this with some hostas that you see in here coming up. There again are some milkweeds. Because it's very, very shady here and not much else will grow. There's the fuzz again. And that brings us back to the glorious Dusty Millers and salvias and beans and basil plants and zinnias on the patio. Thanks for watching.